Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back, and we're doing our Christmas journal today. This is the accordion journal. I know everybody else in the I don't know about everybody else, but a lot of Amy's friends, and including Amy herself, have finished their accordion journals and have moved on. This one's going to take me a bit longer to finish because I'm only working on it once a week, and this is going to take a little while to get it done. So I thought I'd just show you I've done a bit off camera just to try and kind of make some progress. So we did this last time. Excuse me. Did the cover and put a couple of pages in. I did a pocket just to get things going, and I'm really pleased how that turned out. And then off camera I have added a few more pages. So I did this one from the Nostalgic Noel kit. Really pretty. It's part of one of the journal pages, and it says A Christmas Carol, so I put A Christmas Carol on this side, which is actually from a previous Christmas kit by not Roxy Creations, by RachandBellaCrafts. This is the one from the year before called Christmas Past, but I thought they went rather well together. I really like the idea of having the Christmas Carol on this side and then this decorative page on this side saying Christmas Carol. And then I kept it a bit simpler on this side, a bit more of a dramatic kind of colour scheme, I guess, with some straw paper here just so that we can kind of decorate or add things, and all from this is still Nostalgic Noel, but a very different paper to some of them. So I've just done those two, and then I've just got these two to do, and we've done with this side. So there's not a lot of pages in this book, but I'm going to add probably flip outs and extend the pages sideways a bit and do some extra things as I go along, so it'll still take a little bit of doing. The other thing we did last week was we did the door kind of topper, so the idea is it opens up, and as you can see I have now added some fabric. I really wasn't sure what to do, whether to stick with the paper with the card curving round, which was all cracking along one side. And then one of your lovely subscribers, I think it was you, Claire, said it would look really good with some fabric on it. So I thought, I'm going with that. I'm going to take the advice. So I cut off that piece. So it was this piece here that was just causing me all the trouble. And I've added some quite bright red fabric on this side because I thought it went well with this side. But I was struggling with what to put up against Father Christmas, because I originally chose this piece and I thought it was just too bright and it detracted from this gorgeous. I love this. And I was even thinking, do I actually want to cover it up at all? But I thought, well, I do quite like the idea of that. So I've actually taken a piece of this fabric, which is it is some Roxy Creation fabric, but it is not Christmas. I bought one of her what do you call them, vintage inspired fabrics anyway, a big piece which I haven't really used before, and I thought this piece actually blended in quite well. It didn't detract from him at all. It was just a nice soft colour, that little bit of green on there that kind of blends in. I thought this would look really nice, even though it's not from a piece of Christmas fabric, but I like that. So I have only just glued that on because I've just done this just before I turned on the camera. So they're just glued on with some glue stick. So I'm just pulling off this string here that's coming away. I've only added them with glue stick at the moment, and I am going to sew around or down this piece here just to make sure they're nice and firmly attached. And then I'm going to open them. So that one will go on the inside like that, and that will go flat, and then that one will glue there like that, so that will just hinge like that. That's the idea. But it's not quite dry, so I haven't actually sewn it yet. I am still umming and ahhing. So I've been umming and ahhing about this piece for so long, because the other bit was how to add the closure. I know I want to put an eyelet here, and we're going to do that today. And I've got this red long red piece of sari silk, so I thought I could put that in here and wrap it around when it's finished to close it. But do I just have one, maybe just do one piece and wrap it right round like that? Maybe keep an end and tie it. Maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah, because I was thinking, could I attach one piece to this side and have one piece on this side and wrap them around together? But maybe the easiest thing will be just to have one piece here, wrap it around and then tie it. Maybe that's something like that. Anyway, I've got plenty of it, so I can experiment. But I think what I would like to do is get this eyelet in, and then we know that's, because I know that's what I want to do. I just wasn't quite sure whether to attach it, whether to put some sari silk underneath and glue it in, but I wasn't sure it would hold it well enough. And I don't think I could sew it on. I don't think that would quite work. So I'm going to have a gold eyelet. Has to be gold for Christmas. I don't use the gold ones very often, I think, because I don't want to run out of them, but it's a bit like everything. You don't use it because you don't want to lose it, but you kind of need to use them. I don't know. Anyway, let's get this on. Now, just got to figure out, I want it pretty much in the middle, so I will just measure, because otherwise it would look odd. So this piece is just over, it's about 7 1/8 long. Of course it's going to be an awkward amount. So 3 1/2 is 7 1/16, so it's going to be about here. That's where I need it. Does that look central? I think so. I can see it. Where have I marked it? There it is. And I'll just pop the eyelet in. And pop that on. Okay. Did it catch? Not entirely. It's a little bit loose, so I'm going to just give it another go. It is quite thick, this piece. It should be okay. It's not gone as flat as I'd have liked. I think maybe it's because it's quite thick. I'm going to stand up and do it one more time. That's better. I had to stand up to do that properly. But that is now on. So now we've got, so it's going to be like that. And the sari silk will come out, and I'll figure that out before next time. But the other thing I wanted to do on this, I want to put a pocket on here. So I had made a pocket. I don't know if I've got the size right though, because I wasn't allowing for my eyelet. So we'll see how it all fits. So I've got that there. So I've given it a gusset just to kind of make sure there's room to get something in there. And it's going to go over the top of the fabric a little bit. So actually I will need to sew this first before I put my pocket on. So we might go and do that at some point. I'm going to give it a little bit longer, make sure it's dry. Then I can finish this off. So I'll come back to that. I seem to be coming back to a lot of things, don't I? Let's do a bit of work in here. Let's make some progress in here and work on the next page. So these are the last two pages really that we need to work on. So what I fancy doing, I think, on this piece is a bit of collage, just because I fancy doing that. No real reason, but I just thought, don't want to just keep plonking on whole pages. It's quite fun to do something a little bit different. I do quite like this piece, so I'm just going to tear that down and see how we look. So this part of the exercise I haven't really done any preparation on, apart from pulling out some pieces that I might use for the collage, far more than I need, of course. And of course this is a pre-collaged page from the Nostalgic Noel kit. I can put that there, quite like that. And then I've got a nice piece of this. I could put that there, like that, like that. Don't need all of this, I think it's too much. Don't need all of that, so I'm going to just tear that down a bit more. Okay, so I've got that bit. I need a little pop of colour, I think, because it's quite neutral looking. So let's have a piece of this. I'll pop that under there. Just wondering whether to put that across here. Not sure about that. What else we got? Got another collage page here. Might just see if I can do something with this. Quite like that piece. Oh, I know what I was going to try and use. I wanted to use a bit of Florentine paper on here as well. Let's see what I can find. Have I got any scraps? It'd be nice to have a piece of this. Where'd my ruler go? There it is. Whoops. I can have that down there. Have that in there. Okay. What else can I have? Oh, I've got this piece with the Christmas tree that we took the other side of. That piece. Okay, how are we doing? That piece over there, that piece there. Just need a little piece to go down here, don't we? Okay, let's see what we can find. I think this piece might work. that under there. That can go like that. Yes, kind of like that. I know it's quite busy, but I just fancy something a little different on here. So I think first piece, that goes on last, that goes on last, these go on. Right, so I'm going to put this piece on first. I did end up buying the aged mahogany and I've been trying it out and I quite like it. So I'm just going to do inking on that edge. It's red, but it has a vintage look. So I think it goes really well with this kit. So let's glue this down. Get all my bits out of my way. Don't want that bit. I don't want that bit. And I don't want that bit. Okay, all that bit. Right. So let's just glue. I'm hoping not to have to do too much editing on this video, so I might not cut out as much as I usually do, or speed things up as much as I usually do, because I've been having some issues with my editing software, which keeps freezing while I'm editing. I mean, literally every few seconds. At least it has been on the one I'm doing at the moment. Did that go up the top? I think it does. I've just been trying to edit my... which one have I been editing? I can't even remember. The 50 stack challenge, that the one you'll have seen this week. I have managed to get it edited, but it took some doing. It was really, I was struggling with it. It just kept freezing and it was driving me mad. And I don't know if that was, whether it needs some updates or quite what, but it was giving me issues. And I didn't ink that one. Quick, ink. Just a little bit. Just make sure I've put it up high enough. Okay, that goes there. Whoop. Can go up a little. It's probably bigger than it needs to be, but never mind. It's going on. And then that one can go there. Just ink around that. I do quite like this vintage red look around the edges. Yeah, so I apologise if you're seeing a bit more inking and gluing than I normally do, but I'm trying to minimise how much I have to do that editing until it settles out. It does this to me occasionally. I've had this happen before. And then it sorts itself out, and I don't know whether it's something going on with my laptop that I edit on, that maybe there's something going on in the background of that which slows it down or cause it to glitch in some way, or whether it's something to do with the software itself. But it drives me bananas. Now, was I going to put this underneath? Well, I don't mind. Maybe I won't, because I can just put it there. Don't want to cover up too much of this, so I might just take a little bit more of this off. Yeah, that's fine. I think this was going to go on over the top. Just trying to remember which order I want to put these things in. So I'm going to put that there, but I am going to put this one here, I think, and then that's going to go over the top. Yeah. So that's going to go there. Make sure it goes down. So I want these to be pretty well aligned on this side here. Okay. Now we've got our bit of Florentine paper, which I often forget to use, and I thought I must try and put some bits on here and there because I do love it. Actually, was that going to go? No, that one was going to go on last. I was going to put this one on next. Did I already ink that one? I think I did. Yep, I already inked that. Ooh, my book's getting super gluey. That one next, yes. I will do a little editing, otherwise I won't get much achieved. So I might just butt that up on there a little bit. Okay, do that there like that. And then we'll do a little bit of Florentine down there. So, kind of using up some scraps. Well, I was using some scraps because I didn't tear into any new pieces to do this, but I love that. I love how that's turned out. Okay, so that's that page. And then on here, I want to do just something that's going to have a bit of pop. And I just love this, and I think that will be just nice next to that. So that's what I'm going to do. Pencil. Okay, so I'm not sure how far across this goes. Let's see. Let's turn that way. When I'm thinking about how I did the previous accordion journal, I don't think I did the end pieces like this. I've done it differently this time, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to cut it to tear it there. So what I've been doing is the line, the piece that abuts the join here in the middle, I'm doing straight, but the bit that goes onto the book page end, folded bit, I'm tearing with my tear ruler, which has got the kind of the decollage tear ruler. That's what I'm using. Which of course slips at every opportunity. And then I will just, it's pretty much the right height. I don't need to tear that down at all. I'm going to put that on there. So first of all I'm going to ink around it with the this, what they call it, aged mahogany. And then we'll glue it on. I've tried different ways of gluing on the papers. What I've been doing is using some glue stick in the middle and then some of the tacky glue around the edges. So I might just stick with that method. It seemed to be working. Right, so that's what I'm going to do. Glue stick down the middle, round and the inside. I know when I've watched, I don't know if any of you, I'm sure many of you watch Barbara at 49 Dragonflies. She only puts glue around the edge, doesn't glue the middles. And I've never been brave enough to try that method, but I might try it just on one, just to see if it actually looks any different. Seems to have got a bit dark. There's bright sunshine pouring in earlier when I turned the camera on, so I pulled my blind down. I think the sun's gone in and it's feeling a bit dark in here, so I might have to go and pull the blind back up again, get a bit of natural light in here, because it is only the morning. Should be quite light, but when the bright sunshine comes in, it's a bit glaring on my desk. Right, whoop. This is an awkward one because it's not really lying very flat, so I'm hoping I can get it on okay. And line that up with that bit and the top. Make sure it's not too high. Okay, I think we're pretty much in the right position. Are we not? We're not. Yep, I think we're okay. Come out. This does come out, but it looks a bit weird like that. Okay, loving that. So that is this side of the book now done. Oh, what I do need to do, of course, is the back or the front again, because we're going to be turning it around and going back. So I think I'd like to stick my paper on here, and I was thinking I've got a couple of options from the journal pages. She's lovely, but I don't really want her on the back. Yes, I thought I might make a flip out with her. I've got enough there to turn it and do something like that, so that might be something for another day. Yes, I think what I'd like to do, I was choosing between, where's the other one? These two for my back cover, or second front cover, whichever way you want to look at it. So there is that, but I did think this would make, in fact I think, is that the right way up? Yes it is. Would also be quite good as a journal card or as an interior page, I'm not sure. So I think what I'd quite like to do is use this one. I kind of like it, and just leave a little tiny border like I've done on the front. It's almost like somebody's arriving with all the parcels on. I do like that, but I need to cut it down a bit, so I think I'll just follow this line here and just trim it down. So let's cut that piece off. Oh, I did say I was going to pull the blind up, and I'm going to do that now. Okay, that's better. Let a bit more light in, because the sun has definitely gone behind the clouds. It's not as bright as it was. So I'm just going to trim this down here. shouldn't need any more trimming, I don't think. And I haven't done it on the front, but I am going to ink around this one now I've got the ink, just lightly. I will almost certainly be putting some kind of trim or lace on the front. I might do the same here as well, as it's a kind of second front, isn't it? When you turn it over, this is also going to be front, so there'll probably be something along here. So I'm just going to glue this on. I think I will use the tacky glue. Because it has got to glue onto this hard cover here, so I don't think the glue stick will be quite strong enough. I hope this is strong enough. I think it is. It's quite good, this glue, and it does seem to be coming out the bottle a bit quite well, so that's all good. I may have used the big bottle on the cover, I can't remember now. Barely remember what happened yesterday, last week. Well, I can remember what happened yesterday. We went out to lunch, that was very nice. And we went for a lovely walk. We live quite close to RSPB, which is the Royal Society for Protection of Birds main site in Bedfordshire, and we thought we'd go and have a walk. We go there now and again. We are members of the RSPB, so we thought, oh, we haven't been for a while, we'll go and have a bit of lunch nearby. And a really interesting place. That's it's an old mill, and where they make quite well known. They do cereal they're in the supermarket, Jordan's Mill, and they do sell things in supermarkets, sell breakfast cereals in supermarkets. And so we went for lunch at their place, and then we went to RSPB Sandy, which is where they have their headquarters, RSPB. And it's a really lovely site, a lovely place to go for a walk. So we did. It was lovely. We had a bit of sunshine. All the trees are turning. They're so beautiful. The trees are turning colours. And yeah, it was nice. Good to get out sometimes. So there we are. That's my back cover. So I need to start putting some papers in here. Let's see. Oh, I'll tell you what, I think I can probably go and sew down this now. So I might do that and come back and attach it, and then that's done. So I'll be back. Right, so I have now sewn on my bits of fabric. So I've done the brown on this side, and I already had cream in the machine, so I've left the bobbin as cream so that it wouldn't be too glaring on the back. So I've got that ready to glue on, but I want to put my pocket on next. So here's my pocket. I've just folded it in just to make some room, so it's got some room, and I have folded over the top to strengthen it, and I'm just going to do a little thumb notch at the top now that's all dry. See if I can get it in the middle roughly. Oop. And we'll ink that just around there. I've inked the other bits already, so now I can just sew this on. Glue it on. I shall glue it on with my art glitter glue. And then we'll put something in it, and that will be done. So let's just a little bit up from the bottom, kind of there. So we've got to be careful that it doesn't impact on the closure. Whoops, that's not glued on straight, is it? Something didn't feel right down there. So whatever I put in can't go right up to the end. So what shall we put in? Well, there's lots of tags in the kit, in the Nostalgic Noel kit. Some smaller ones. I looked at the really small ones that we've used. I used when I did the belly band, but they are too small for in here. And there's a couple of other bigger ones. I've just cut this one to size. Doesn't mean it's going to be what I'm going to use. There's lots of others, but I just thought I'd see if it would fit, and it would fit quite nicely without. Hopefully, I don't think that would impact on that. So we could put that in, but I don't know if that's the one I want. It's quite nice. Let's see. We've got these ones, which would be quite a contrast. Whether I'd want that next to him. No, it wouldn't be next to him, would it? Would it? Yes, it would. I think that might be a bit too much. That's even darker. I like them because they're a contrast, but I'm not sure about in this position. So let's see what else we have. We have lots of choices. That's always the worst thing, isn't it? Having too many choices. So I have got her. Got these. I don't think any of these are quite what I want. Kind of like these ones. These are sweet, and these are very nice as well. I don't think I want that one. Maybe this one or this one. I like that one, I think. And I have some more, and I was also thinking about the one with the candle. So I think I'll just cut these two out and see which one I like best. I kind of cut them down a bit so that they're not going to take too long to release from their brothers and sisters. These over here too. Right, so I've got this one, which it'll go in better when it's been backed and there's a little bit more, it's got a bit more rigidity. So I quite like that with the candle poking out the top. Do you like that? And then I've got this one. I like that as well. I think I like the candle. I kind of like this. Yeah, I think I'm going with the candle. I just need to back it. I think I'm going to back it on some straw paper. I hope that's going to be strong enough. I think it is. This is a nice colour, nice and neutral. Just wondering if I need to put another layer between. I think it'll be okay. I don't want it over thick, but I want it to be sturdy enough. So I think that's what I'll put it on there. I think it's okay. I could have put a piece of book page in between, but I think that's probably not necessary. I hope it's not necessary. Nope. Okay, I was leaving the wrong corners. I was leaving the wrong corners free of glue because I had it the wrong way up. So I hadn't glued the bottom corners, but I had glued those. I'm not sure how straight this paper is here, so I might have to trim it a little. Ugh. Quite a big lump of glue on my hand. Let's just make sure it's nice and don't want any air bubbles on the back. Let's trim this off. And a bit at the bottom as well. Right. Oop. A little semicircle from my pocket there. I may well sew around this, I'm not sure. Does look like it could do with just something around the edge. I will just put a little bit of this aged mahogany around the edge. Give it a finish. Let's just clip the corners a little. That might help them help it go in the pocket more easily as well. Okay, and I'm just wondering which what to use at the top, whether to go for a circle or a little slot. I think I might go for a little slot. I've got my slot punch that I don't use very often. Hope it's gone in far enough, I think so. Yep. There we are. And then we just need to pop something through there, don't we? I've got a few bits and pieces. And a scrap of this red lace. Is that going to go through? That might work. It's not like lacy lace. This is kind of like a cotton crochet type lace, I think. But it's just the right width to go through there. I think that's what I'm going to do. And shape it a little. And I might just use my stapler on there. I find this bigger one a bit easier than the Tim Holtz tiny attacher for these things. And the staples are more likely to hold it in place if they're a bit bigger. Okay, so that's that. I really like that. And so plenty of writing space on the back. Okay, let's put it Well, I think we won't put it in the pocket. I am going to now glue this on. I'm finally going to do it. I'm going to glue it onto my cover. And then that'll be it for today, I think. Yep. So, what I need to do, this is not going to be the easiest thing to do, because I haven't got a lot here. Didn't leave myself an awful lot to glue on, actually, on this, with this piece. But I didn't really want to cover up too much of Santa. That was my issue. I'm hoping I've left enough to hold it. So I'm just going to use the art glitter glue on here because it's quite thin cotton. So I think it's, the art glitter glue is strong enough, and the fabric glue would be a bit heavy duty and would probably seep through. Right, it's getting it in the right place. It's going to be interesting. Not too near the edge that way. Right. Oh, that's got a bit creased there. Is that going to be right? I think so. So, just need to pull it out a little bit here where it's just crunching up a little. So it's straight. More glue under this end, I think. So I've never actually done this before, so I'm not really sure how it's going to end up working, but it's always good to try something new. And it just seemed like a good idea at the time. Open the door and see Santa. I just want to make sure we want it to work so we don't lose Santa. And I think this little bit of fabric does not detract from him. I like that. I think that looks good. So that's going to close, and then we're just going to glue this piece on. Right, so I'm just burnishing this piece down. I can see I haven't actually managed to glue it on completely straight, which kind of doesn't really surprise me, but I don't think I'm going to worry about it too much now because it's probably too late to move it. So we've got that, and then we open it and we have that. I love that. I am going to put something down this edge. I might even put something underneath. I don't know yet. But let's put our tag in the pocket, like so. So we've got that, and we can close it up, and we can put some sari silk here to wrap it around. I think that will work very well. So that's it for today. We have managed to cover all the pages right to the end. So next time we'll start from here and we'll get these pages done. You can see they're a bit of painty page, but they'll all be covered and it'll all look fine. And then we're back to the beginning. So yeah, I think we're making some progress, and I'm really pleased how this has turned out in the end. Thank you, Claire. I think it was you, Claire, as I said, for saying go ahead and, fabric's a good idea, because I'm happy with how that's turned out now. So I will see you very soon. Bye.